Everybody. Just wanted to give you my take on BABA here, Alibaba Group Holdings. I'm on the daily chart, the 1 hour chart, and the 15-minute chart using the TrendCloud system. So let's just put together all the information here and make an assessment of what's going on here because we believe in Alibaba. We don't want to short Alibaba. We want to accumulate Alibaba. So, when is the best time to be a buyer and maybe start looking for that option chain? To start buying those call options. Well, what we see across the chart here is pretty easy to see. Let's just turn everything off except for our trend cloud. And you can see here that daily chart trend is down, 1 hour chart trend is down. 15-minute chart trend is down, right? And we know the trend is down because well, the trend cloud is red, the candles are red, and our line in the sand here, right? The very last part of our trend cloud, well, that's red as well. So we got red across the board. Okay, let's start adding some more information and start stacking the elements of our trade plan on each other. So we got trend all going in the same direction across multiple time frames. Now let's add our CCI indicator. CCI indicator tells us that we're below negative 100, which means that this trend, this middle or intermediate trend, is very strong to the downside. Okay, so our assumption is that this is going to continue. Let's go over to the high time frame, that daily chart, and let's add our cycle indicator and momentum filter. And we can see that we are cycling down or in an impulse phase. Okay, see here, downtrend, impulse down, correction back into the trend cloud, impulse down. Okay, so the cycle indicator is showing you whether or not you're in an impulse phase or a correction. So right now we are in that impulse phase. We had a impulse down, a short correction. See how the impulses are longer than the corrections? So we have an impulse down and this very short correction into the trend cloud represented right here on that cycle indicator. And now we are continuing the impulse move to the downside. We also have momentum. This is a modified MACD. You have momentum to the downside as well. So look at all the elements that we've got. There are 6 elements to the trend cloud trade plan, right? There's trend, cycles, momentum, okay, support and resistance, which is represented by our trend cloud moving averages. And then we have supply and demand, right, which is an imbalance between buyers and sellers. And we can say that we've got a nice supply zone right here. We've got a supply zone right here. These are where all the sellers came in and pushed down. Okay, so that's the 5th element. And then the 6th element, multiple time frames, right? So we want to put everything together, trend, momentum, support and resistance across those multiple time frames. Okay, and that's pretty much how we come up with our trade plan. So on the lower time frame, um, it looks real wild, doesn't it? Look at this just wild ride on the lower time frame. We did show an extended trend, pulled back, recalculated, made the move down. But we're really looking to accumulate this particular stock. So we want to look at the higher time frames. We're concentrating on that daily chart and that 1 hour chart for accumulation, right? And this is to really fine tune everything if you want. And you can look at your option chains on that 15-minute chart. But overall, trend is down across multiple time frames. Momentum is with the downtrend, right? We're below negative 100. We are in a downtrend. Momentum is down on our filter. We're impulsing down, 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 down we go, right? Let's move out to the daily chart here and just look left. Okay, so right here we see that we've got a market edge. Let's just mark that off right there. We're going to make that green. Okay, and let's see, did we break through that? Not yet. So we are moving into this area here, okay, on the daily chart. We're moving into this area. What's going to happen? Is it going to rip through all of this? Is it going to reverse? Or is it going to consolidate here? Well, we'll never know. So, what we want to do is make our observations. Once Baba comes into this area, we can start making some, some assumptions that possibly it comes in here, makes a little bit of a pullback, and then, uh, you know, breaks through structure, right? That's the pattern that we look for on the lower time frames once we're inside of this demand zone here on the high time frame. Okay, so on the lower time frames, like that 15-minute chart, price, okay, price might just start, following down, just become extended, okay, like this. And then once we see a break of structure on that low time frame, we can say that this downtrend here has been terminated. The downtrend has been terminated on the low time frame right here when price enters the demand zone and breaks structure. Okay, now what do we do? Now we go to phase two, right? And we start looking for our middle time frame CCI to do what? Break above positive 100. Once we're above positive 100, we can start looking to take this thing long on the pullbacks into demand zones, right? Little getting over to demand zones like right here, right? Let's say we pull back and we've got some demand zone in here that is formed by the candles. That's where we would be taking our entry, right? Also, we would have structure there inside of that demand zone, possibly, right? Previous resistance, right? Breakthrough becomes support. Okay, so inside that demand zone is where we could take the trade right here. Proximal line, take the trade, distal line, and that's where your stop loss would go just below that demand zone there. So that is the process for taking a trade long when it goes into your high time frame demand zone. So Alibaba is on sale right now. And when do we become a buyer? Well, we've got a process for that, but we've got to wait for some more information. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next video.